Okay, fantastic. So welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. During today's session, we will of course be going through live market analysis. We'll go through a watch list of trade ideas, a forecast where we expect gold, silver, crude oil, and also the commodity currencies to be heading next. We'll be answering questions, providing live support. As always, contributions are very welcome. Before we get into it, let me just introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading, as internationally respected experts. Our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies, and the agriculture markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. And over the last 10 years, myself and my team of experts, we have trained and mentored thousands of private traders from all over the world on our exclusive research-driven strategies. For further information on our services, please just go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Also, what I would definitely suggest as well is if you would like to be kept updated on our latest commodity reports, we'll be putting out a fresh report this weekend with our forecast for the week ahead. Certainly over the last week, some of those have included the trade ideas on platinum, which is now just broken out to 2-month highs today. Gold as well, which broke out to 10-month highs this week. If you want to be kept updated with those, just go onto YouTube, search for the Gold and Silver Club. We've got hundreds of videos on YouTube, but just make sure you're subscribed to the Gold and Silver Club YouTube channel, because that way you'll get notified every time we put out a new report. You'll be alerted to the fact there is a new video within the Gold and Silver Club YouTube channel. Okay, great stuff. So with that, let's get into it, and we'll go through the narrative. We'll go through the narratives at the moment in the market, and we'll also talk you through our trade ideas and what we're looking at right now. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen with you, and we can just go through some of the top movers, and we'll talk you through exactly what we're looking at right now. So just bear with me as I share my screen. You should see that very shortly. Okay, great stuff. Just a quick check. Everyone can see my screen okay, and you can also hear me okay as well. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much, Sharice. Okay, good. So first of all, let's just have a look at the top movers today. So essentially, platinum is leading. We're tracking the commodities and also the major FX majors and commodity currencies as well. Platinum is up on the day over 2%. Silver is up 0.74% on the day. You got the Australian dollar, which is up 0.6% on the day. Then the New Zealand dollar, gold as well, which is back at 1,329 US dollars per ounce. You've got the pound, which is slightly up on the day. Then the euro, US dollar Swiss franc is down on the day. US dollar Canadian dollar, as well as the dollar index, they're all a bit down. So all of the dollar crosses are down at the moment. And the S&P 500 is slightly up on the day as well, trading at 2,785, and oil is also up 0.9%, almost 1% on the day as well. So we have seen a bit of a bounce back here after some of the narratives yesterday, which overall we've seen essentially from the Wednesday's FOMC statement. To give you a bit of context, so up until Wednesday's FOMC statement, we had gold breaking out to 10-month highs. Okay, so we had gold breaking 1,347 US dollars per ounce. Silver, platinum, and also palladium broke out. Well, palladium in particular broke out to all-time highs. Now, the minutes of the FOMC statement on Wednesday, there was quite a lot of uncertainty around this. So there was some parts of the commentary which suggest the FOMC members, so essentially Federal Reserve, they are anticipating the potential to increase interest rates this year. So some of the Federal Reserve officials stated that they would be in favor of increasing interest rates, which is bullish for the dollar and basically negative for commodities and the S&P 500. But then we had further uncertainties where some Fed officials felt that it was more warranted to pause, and we had further comments which were dovish this week from more Federal Reserve officials, which was again more in line with a stance to pause potential monetary policy with a view to increasing interest rates. And as such, that's provided further support, particularly today for gold, for silver, for platinums breaking out to 2-month highs today. And we're seeing the dollar sell off, and the euro's back up, the pound's up on the day, Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar as well, and you've got more optimism about China and US trade talks. So these are the narratives going through the market at the moment. You've got gold steady today, back above $1,329, on track for a second weekly gain, as you've got sluggish US economic data, stoked worries about global slowdown. Investors are waiting signals on the US-China trade talks, which is providing general optimism to the market. So we see that playing out right now. If you look at the front page here in terms of the major news items as well, we've also continued to see some additional support here come into the overall stock markets here. You've got the Federal Reserve promise in January to be patient about further interest rate hikes, putting a 3-year-old process of policy tightening on hold. Now, this is what essentially Donald Trump wants. He's been very vocal in saying that he doesn't want the Federal Reserve to be as aggressive in increasing interest rates. He wants a more competitive dollar. He doesn't want the dollar high. He wants the dollar lower to provide more competition for global trade. Okay, so it's in his interest for the dollar to go lower because that also helps to prop up the stock market, and it also overall is supportive to a number of other currencies as well, which just overall makes the US dollar more competitive. And he's been very vocal about this, that he's unhappy with the Federal Reserve when they increased interest rates in December. He was very unhappy with Jerome Powell, and he was being very vocal about this. And of course, you will remember after the US Federal Reserve increased interest rates, the stock market tanked. It sold off significantly. It corrected over 20% over December 2018. And we saw that particularly the low get put in around Christmas Eve before the plunge protection team came in and helped the market. And then Donald Trump, by the way, big cue for further supportive rallies on the S&P 500. On Boxing Day, Donald Trump urged the global community that they should buy the dip in the S&P 500. And you know what's happened since then. The S&P 500 at that point was trading around 2,300, and this week it hit almost 2,800. It's rallied almost 500 points since then. And if you look at that from a Dow Jones point of view, by a factor of 10, it's about 5,000 points or so. It's rallied since those lows, so it's incredible. And this was telegraphed to the market. Donald Trump told everyone to go and buy the dip with the S&P 500 and the overall US stock market on Boxing Day, and ever since then we've seen the US stock market trading now at 2-month highs. It's had multi-week continued progress to the upside. US stock markets are rising again on Friday on signs of progress in the ongoing trade talks between the United States and China. So remember this. In crisis, there is always opportunity. So whenever you see blood on the streets, whether it's cryptocurrencies, whether it is US stock markets, whether it is gold or silver or a major currency, remember that in crisis, there is often opportunity if you're prepared for it in advance and you're aware that when there's a lot of fear in the markets, it often can be a good time to just take stock, look at where there might be opportunities. Don't get fearful. Look for the opportunities in the market that present themselves, because time and time again, these big sell-offs, regardless of the asset class, end up being really good opportunities to capitalize on very low prices. They're often times where you've got, if it's a stock in particular or a commodity that you've been looking to buy into at good value, you want to be buying in at the lows when there's a lot of fear in the market. Time and time again, it's presented a really good optimal time to be buying in stock markets or commodity or even cryptocurrencies, where they found the lows around mid-December, and since then Litecoin has doubled in price, Ethereum is up 77%, Bitcoin is up 20%, and so forth. So it's just an important point, and we're certainly seeing right now support come into a lot of the market. So with that, what I'll do, I'll take you over to some of the trade ideas. In fact, platinum, I mean, for those of you that watch our weekly reports, well done if you've taken these trades, if you've gone ahead. We haven't given them out as specific trades. We've just talked you through the trades that we are in and the trade ideas that we're looking at. But basically, this is the third time we've re-entered into platinum at the 800 zone so far in 2019. And this time it's properly breaking out. If you look at the weekly chart now, we're breaking above the 2-month highs. We talked about this on the week ahead commodity report and also on the commodities corners. Look at the weekly chart for platinum. It's primed for a breakout. If you just caught that move this week on platinum, it's up over 400 points. And that's what we've done on the trade now. We're almost at our 843 profit target. I think it'll probably get hit today now. We're trading at the 2-month highs. Platinum was, for us, really straightforward trade opportunity. We've continued to buy into platinum on every dip below $800. It's done that 3 times over 2019, and each time presented a great opportunity. But finally, platinum is catching up to palladium, which has been trading at all-time highs, and platinum has been at a huge discount to gold and, well, gold prices in particular. Unheard of, really, to have platinum at $840, whereas gold's been trading at $1,330. So platinum is leading the metals right now. Really solid move that we're seeing. at the moment with this breakout to the upside. So that's looking really solid right now. Gold, of course, we're back into gold today. We bought back in on the pullback today at 1,326 US dollars per ounce. I think it could be vulnerable as we continue to go into March, but I think we've still got the potential for a bit more of a rally and a retest of the swing highs between now and the end of the month. If it doesn't do it over February, it's got 8 days to deliver, in my opinion. If it doesn't do it next week, then I'll probably come out of gold and then I'll wait, because normally gold doesn't perform well over March. But I'm giving it another week or so to see if we break back above the swing highs. We banked 200 points on gold this week, took the profits off the table ahead of the minutes of the FOMC. Gold fell back down to 13.23, bought back in at the lows, and now it's finding support. I also like the Australian dollar US dollar. So we reloaded on this long this morning at the 0.71 handle. Just above that, we're about 30 pips or so in profit at the moment. We're 25 to 30 pips right now in profit on the trade. What I like about this is the fact that a lot of the news story around China and Australia, I'll just show you this in more detail actually when it comes back to the narrative, has changed. So they had incorrect information, and therefore we're seeing a bit of a recovery at the moment. So China says Australian coal imports remain normal, and so China's foreign ministry said on Friday that Australian coal imports to the country continue as normal, although it added customs authorities had stepped up environments and safety checks on foreign cargo. So that was the opposing story to what had been broadcast earlier, which helped to cause that big sell-off with the Australian dollar, US dollar, and that decline yesterday. So they've now refuted that. So you've had the foreign minister has basically given an official statement, and you're seeing the Australian dollar rally now. So I like it at the 0.71 handle, which I mentioned before. If you look at it on the weekly chart, it looks now positive again. Normally Australian dollar performs well over both February and also March as well. So we've reloaded on the long there, bought back in on the long side this morning as well on the Australian dollar. So we're basically at the moment, we're long platinum. We've got almost at our profit target. In fact, on platinum here, I'm almost tempted to just move up the stop loss again and pull the take profit higher. I think I might actually do that, because it looks like now we could really continue this momentum higher. I'll consider that afterwards, but that's not something that we need to worry about too much on the commodities corner. But from a point of view of our community, we're long platinum. We might extend the profit target higher, because this is full on breaking out at the moment. Gold, I still like it for more upside. It's at 1330. We look at it on weekly chart here. I'm still looking for a potential retest of 1345 to 1350. Maybe we'll see 1365 between now and as we go into March, but I am expecting the potential to pull back in March. So it really needs to do it within the next week or so, or next 10 days for gold. Then if we move over to silver, we're already long silver, as I've discussed before. I still like silver on the weekly time frame here. I feel that 1550 to 1560 zone is a very important level of support for silver, and I'm still looking for this to consolidate and build momentum. It hasn't performed as well as gold so far this year, but it's got some catching up to do. If you look at the gold to silver ratio, we could still see it catch up. Normally silver produces around a 3% return in February. It's still down 0.8% on the month, almost down 1%. So in theory, it could recover 4% between now and the end of the month. So it would need to really cover a lot of ground within the next week or so. It's possible, because silver can move 2 or 3% in a day when it really catches a bid. So I'm keeping a long position on silver just in case it does what platinum has done this week and full on breaks out. So platinum has basically moved almost 3% this week and achieved its normal monthly gain. If you watch back our week ahead report, again, I encourage you to do so. I know I keep saying it, but our YouTube report went through this in a lot of detail. So we covered where platinum normally delivers around a 3% return. Over the month of February, it was still negative by about 1% by last week or the week before. It had a lot of catching up to do, and look what it's done. Within 1 week, it's up almost 3%. In fact, monthly, it's up 2.9%. In fact, this week, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. It's up 4.3% this week. So it's done that recovery. Amazing to see this follow through again from a seasonal point of view. You really need to keep an eye on the seasonals here with these commodities, which of course we update you on via the reports. S&P 500, I'm looking at it on the weekly chart now and the monthly. I'm still bullish actually short term here. I think we could retest 2,800. I was looking at potential correction yesterday, but it doesn't look like we're going to see that. You can see it's found support at the lower end of the trend channel. It looks to me like it wants to retest 2,800. Look at it on the weekly chart. It still looks bullish. V-shaped reversal reversal, and on the monthly it still looks bullish as well. It's up 3% on the month. I think it's probably coming in for a retest of that 2,830 zone as we continue over the month of February. So S&P 500, I'm still looking for a bit more upside. As I said before, I'm long the Australian dollar, US dollar as well. Let's just check in on US dollar CAD. Basically, the anticipation is with oil breaking out and getting well supported, US dollar CAD should roll over. I'm probably not going to re-enter this sell short today, but I'll look at it on Monday. I basically see the potential of a pennant formation. Now, it might actually sell off later on today in the session on the Baker Hughes oil rig count, which is out later. So I like it for a sell short US dollar CAD. In fact, I won't completely rule out selling that before the close because I think I might miss the move if I don't execute that soon. It just needs to break below yesterday's low to confirm that's a sell. But if you look at that from a pennant formation, here you go. You've got the pennant. Draw this on yourselves, guys, if you want to have a look at it. You just look at the overall pennant formation you've got on US dollar CAD. If it rolls over, breaks the low, it should in theory sell off. I've got a sell signal on the weekly chart as well, and it should move inversely to oil too. So if we see an oil breakout again next week, we should see more US dollar CAD weakness. If we have a look at crude oil, well, crude has done exactly as we mentioned on the week ahead report as well. We were looking at two ways to trade this: either wait for a pullback entry or just take a break of the weekly highs. It's basically broken above that all important resistance above 56 US dollars per barrel. It's at the 57.50 range right now. I'm still targeting $60 per barrel above here as we transition into March. Overall, I'll be looking for more upside into 63. It's whether you want to FOMO in, which is get the fear of missing out and buying at the highs, or whether you're willing to be patient and wait for a pullback. Normally there are pullbacks, whether it's on oil inventories data, Baker Hughes oil rig count. We're looking for some sort of pullback. Now, it might be that it just doesn't happen at all, that oil just keeps driving higher like this, in which case you probably just need to buy a breakout. But if it does pull back, I'm very interested in buying back in at the 55 to around the 55 to 56 zone. If it does pull back at those levels, you've got a full-on V-shaped reversal on the weekly. The monthly looks really well supported. I've mentioned this several times before. If you break above the monthly highs, this will get going to the upside. Next target is $60 per barrel. So I'm looking at more upside basically on oil. And that's really it, guys. I've done a lot of due diligence on the other markets. That's really my main trades that I'm looking at right now. So just to reiterate that, I'm long on platinum at the moment and it's retesting 840. So we've got our profit target sitting just above that zone. I'm going to let that run probably for the time being. I've got back into gold after banking 200 points profit on this trade this week. I'm back into gold. Australian dollar, this will be the third trade that we've had this week. We've continued to bank profits, get back in, bank profits. I keep buying back in at the 0.71 handle. We're up around 20-30 pips at the moment. So I'm long Australian dollar, US dollar. I'm looking to execute a sell short on the US dollar CAD. I might do it today or I might wait depending on whether we break below yesterday's low today. I'm bullish on the S&P 500. I think we will retest 2,800. I'm bullish on oil as well. I think we are going to head towards $60 per barrel, but I want to get a better entry price for the next entry on that. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys, and gives you a bit of clarity in terms of what we're looking at the moment as well. As I mentioned at the beginning of the session, we'll put out a new report on YouTube at the weekend. Just go on to YouTube, search for the Gold and Silver Club. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. If you do want to join our successful community of private traders, you are very welcome to do so and make an application. All you need to do is go to the following link. I'll just put that here. It's www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Basically, as a member, you get access to our exclusive live trading room webinars during the course of the week. You'll have access to real-time trade alerts. Those are delivered via WhatsApp and email. You'll have access to trading research and market insights. So you have your private members academy login, so you can go onto our membership site, you can go through all of our trading material, all of our research, our strategies, and you'll have access to support and one-to-one mentoring as well. So the link is www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Okay, fantastic. So with that, thanks again to binary.com and Sharice for putting on today's session, and I wish you all a great weekend. Obviously, enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading, and we'll catch you back here on Monday's Commodities Corner as well. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And with that, good trading, guys. All the best. Bye for now, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.